Hello, this is JY83, and this is another episode of Pierre's Path to Glory. This week it is the Bahrain Grand Prix, episode 23, and if you missed the previous episode, then go and check it out. There are new driver transfers at the start of season 2, so go and check out the driver transfers video if you missed it. But yeah, I'm now in Red Bull, so here at the Bahrain Grand Prix we come into practice for the track acclimatization test, and that is almost a fully purple lap, well enough to get purple score, so it's pretty straightforward. Now we'll do track acclimatization tests and then qualifying pace. I'm just up on the moment at the minute, but it looks like we're going to be just about getting it, as the run through the final corner was quite good. So only a half a tenth up, so only the green score, but it's still good enough for the 30 resource points. And this is my first run in qualifying, going through turn 3, and there's a Williams of Nico Hülkenberg just there. He absolutely blocks the apex, the run, so I couldn't take full speed through there. Lost about half a second, so unfortunately as we come towards the end of the lap, it's only good enough for, I think that's P5 at the minute, but no, I haven't set a time yet. So I'm hoping for better than that. And now onto the next run. I've only got a minute left, and Max Verstappen just come out of the pits, my teammate, and he absolutely blocks me to no end through turn 1 and 2 and 3 here. But yeah, I'm stuck. I've lost 0.4 of a second just on the first few corners, thanks to my teammate Verstappen not getting out of the way. And now onto the end of the same lap, I'm 0.3 up, which just shows you how bad the rest of the lap was, because I was able to lose 0.4 and still be going faster. So it's going to put me P4, I think, for the race, which is not too good. It's not bad, but it could be better. So yeah, 4th for the race, pretty disappointing. But then Daniel Ricciardo took pole in his Mercedes with Verstappen alongside from Sebastian Vettel in his Ferrari, and then myself in 4th place. Lewis Hamilton, Carlos Sainz, Raikkonen and Carey making up the next 4 positions. Jenson Button, Hülkenberg and Magnussen rounding up the top 11. In McLaren, Williams and Renault respectively, which is all good for them. Then bottom at 11 is Romain Grosjean, Pascal Wehrlein, Valtteri Bottas, who's underperformed his Williams quite a lot there. Fernando Alonso, Esteban Gutierrez, Perez, who's had a disappointing qualifying, followed by Julian Palmer and the Manners and Saubers round up the grid. So let's get into the race.
There's something in the Bahrain air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the sand. Our brightest minds have thrust their brightest ideas into the spotlight of the Sakhir circuit this evening as we look ahead once more to a Grand Prix that has thrilled us so consistently in the past.
So race strategy then looks like quite a straightforward 2-stop race, super soft, medium, medium, and I've underfilled the car quite a lot, and yeah, that's pretty much everything. I remember last season I actually got a puncture on this strategy, so hoping for that doesn't happen again. But here we go, 5 red lights, and we're away for the Bahrain Grand Prix, and Sebastian Vettel bogs down very, very badly from 3rd on the grid. So I'm immediately up into 3rd, and now it's Ricciardo and Verstappen going wheel to wheel through turn 1. I'm going to try and capitalise, look to the outside line alongside Verstappen and Ricciardo. They almost bang wheels, go side by side. Verstappen's been forced wide. I'm going to look to the outside of turn 3, and Max Verstappen has to leave me the space, my teammate. So I'm just about up into 2nd place, so that's a very good start. And now Daniel Ricciardo is in the lead, and he is just about going to hold the lead into turn 4, I should say. And yeah, very nice start, 2 positions in the first sector alone. Then down the back straight on lap 1. We're just about going to pass Daniel Ricciardo, by the looks of things, into the final corner, and that is very nice indeed. If he actually gives us the space, which he does, very respectful from Ricciardo, and that allows us to take the lead in the Bahrain Grand Prix on lap 1 from 4th place on the grid. So that is very, very nice indeed. So the fastest lap while we're at it, as I would as the lead car, but ignore that. And Ricciardo's going to come back at me through turn 1 though, so I'm going to have to defend a bit and take the wide line, do the cutback. Ricciardo goes for the move, and that is a very nice cutback if it does come off. But I'm getting forced onto the curb a bit, but I've just about got a position and I can force him out and take back 1st place with relative ease. So up into 1st at the end of, well, halfway through lap 2, back into the lead of the race, and Verstappen still in 3rd, so good for the team as well. Let's have a look at a replay of the start then, and very, very odd start from Vettel. You can see from 3rd on the grid, absolutely bogs down, swamped by Hamilton, and then I think that's Sainz going alongside as well. And then the Williams and the McLaren of Button and I think Hülkenberg and Alonso go very wide, and just how you can see how close the drivers of Ricciardo and Verstappen get through turn 1 and 2, and then that allows me to go around the outside of my teammate Verstappen. Very clean, very nice move around the outside. And you can see just in the background Vettel's still side by side, but I think that's Nico Carey for about 6th or 7th place now. So here it is from Vettel, just see what went wrong, and yeah, so not a good launch at all. He just didn't get any wheel spin, so he gets swamped by me and Hamilton and Carlos Sainz immediately. And then I think it's Nico Carey who tries to come alongside in his Toro Rosso, who had quite a disappointing run in the first race in Australia. So there he is, Carey, and he just about holds it side by side with the 4-time world champion. So it's a bit of a baptism of fire for the young teenager from Finland, I believe. And yeah, so side by side into turn 4, and he's actually keeping it in there, which is very nice to see for a young driver like this to be having so many balls to keep it up the inside of a 4-time world champion, but still going side by side through the twisty infield section now, which is very, very brave. And he almost gets forced out onto the curb, but he's still there, Nico Carey, and he's just about going to hold it up the inside, and the front wing is still alongside. And now Vettel should have the high ground for this next corner because it's a very inside favoured corner. Carey gets forced out to the curb, but Vettel still has to leave him the space, and Nico Carey actually gets an amazing run off there. It's very, very nice indeed from the young Dane, or Finn, or whatever I said it was, but very nice indeed from the Toro Rosso driver. And now onto lap 5, we're immediately pitting, because that was really it for the first stint, as I managed to hold a gap from Ricciardo. So yeah, into lap 5 I'm pitting a lap before everyone else, so that gives me the undercut. So hopefully I should be able to retain the lead after everyone makes their pit stops. But I'm going to come out, it looks like, in about 10th or 11th place. It looks like there's quite a lot of cars going down the main straight who haven't pitted yet. Plenty of these people will be going along on a different set of tyres who qualified outside the top 10. So yeah, I'm just going to come out just behind the Renault of, I think that's Julian Palmer, and maybe even the next car behind, which I'm not sure what it is yet, because I didn't check the mirrors. But it is a Manor, I think it's George Russell, so we should hopefully be able to displace him with relative ease, as he is in a Manor, so we can just pull to the inside and get the better traction and fresh tyres and everything, and it's a Manor, so it should be quite easy to overtake him. Yes, it is. Straight up back into P14, I think this is. Now I've got the banana car of Kevin Magnussen, or Julian Palmer. It is Julian Palmer actually, and we're alongside going down the back straight at the end of my outlap, so the drivers at the top should be pitting this lap, so it'll be interesting to see where I come out in relation to them. But quite an easy pass on Julian Palmer there, up the inside, and up back into 13th place now, I believe. And yeah, there's a few drivers in the pit, so this will raise me a few more positions. I don't think either Mercedes car has pitted yet, or my teammate Verstappen has actually pitted. You can see on the minimap behind me. But here's Esteban Gutierrez, I think, is this driver ahead. So hopefully I can overtake him with the DRS open and go up the inside and straight up ahead. We've got his teammate Romain Grosjean, the next car ahead. So yeah, Verstappen, and here is Daniel Ricciardo coming to the pit lane on the end of lap 7, I believe. And the Toro Rosso of Carlos Sainz is also pitting. So it'll be very interesting to see where we come out in relation to these. But hopefully it'll be ahead of Sainz, and I imagine we'll be ahead of Ricciardo as well, because we've just set the fastest after the race, and there is Ricciardo in the pit lane. So we've got quite a big lead actually. Here he is. You can just see me go past, and there's the Esteban Gutierrez. Quite a long way ahead actually I am. There's Ricciardo coming out the pits, even behind Verstappen, so Verstappen's got the undercut so far, which is very nice to see, as Ricciardo comes out the pit lane, I think in about 4 or 5 positions behind me. So here's the next car, which is the Force India of Pascal Wehrlein, I believe. So hopefully he has the Mercedes engine, which is a shame because we only have the Tag Heuer branded Renault engine. Actually it's Sergio Perez, I should correct myself. Yeah, straight up the inside onto lap 9. DRS is open, which is good because that means we do have the straight line speed advantage over the Force India. Here is the teammate Pascal Wehrlein. This is for a place on the podium, I believe, at the minute, because these drivers haven't pitted yet, obviously. So up the inside of Pascal Wehrlein, he almost squeezes me onto the curb there. I'll hop over the curb slightly, but take back 3rd place, and that is very nice indeed. But unfortunately, Wehrlein is going to have the DRS, so it's not over yet because that Mercedes engine is monstrous compared to this Renault engine, and he is very, very likely to actually overtake me here. Max Verstappen's in the pit lane as well, as the little thing said at the top of the screen. I defend from Pascal Wehrlein, but he's going to just about hold it around the outside, which makes me have to be forced wide, and now down the next straight I've not got a chance of overtaking him without the DRS open. But here's Verstappen coming to the pit lane. He actually went into another set of super soft tyres, which is a very strange decision, as he's nailed on for a 3-stop now, which isn't the optimum strategy. Here is Pascal Wehrlein still ahead of me. Even with DRS down the short back straight, I couldn't overtake him, but now we've got the better grip in the corners, as you would expect in the Red Bull, and we're going to look right around the outside. I did this last season to Jenson Button, and we do it once again to Pascal Wehrlein, and that is a very nice move, if I do say so myself, and that raises us up into P3. And here's Max Verstappen coming out the pit lane, and he's got spun off the back of Fernando Alonso, and that is very bad indeed. This is the problem with the 3-stop, you just get caught in so much traffic. And yeah, Verstappen pays the price for that as he gets spun out and loses an awful lot of time. So that really reduces any chance of him doing well. And here's Hamilton and Sainz. Sainz actually still was ahead of Lewis Hamilton after the first pit stop. So this is 4th position. And Carlos Sainz just about gets overtaken around the outside by Lewis Hamilton, which is a very nice move by the world champion. And here we come on lap 17 into the pit lane. And yeah, into the pits and on lap 17 put on another set of mediums. Hopefully they'll go to the end quite easily. But yeah, the Mercedes cars haven't actually pitted yet, so they'll be going longer again as they were in the first stop. 1.8 second pit stop, which is very nice indeed. There's another car coming in behind me. I believe that's Carlos Sainz, who's still almost holding it with the top 3, which is very well done to him in the slower Toro Rosso, my former teammate, of course. So yeah, come out of the pits in very clean air. I think it's P4 at the minute. As I think Pascal Wehrlein still on his alternate strategy is in the top 3. Or that might be him just behind, I'm not too sure. But here is Carlos Sainz coming to the pits. So it can't have been him last lap. I do apologise for that mistake. And he actually goes onto another set of soft tyres. So and here a few laps later is Lewis Hamilton also going onto a set of soft tyres. So you can just see how much better the tyre wear for the AI cuts is around here. Because the only way I can do a 2-stop is super soft, medium, whereas these drivers, some of them, Sainz doing a soft, and Mercedes drivers doing a medium soft. So here's Daniel Ricciardo, who's pitted latest of all the top 3, so he has the freshest tyres, but he also has the most time to make up. So on to lap 21, and I set a fastest after the race. There is Daniel Ricciardo coming out the pit lane on the mini-map, and you can just see the sort of gap that I'm having to maintain if I want to win this race, which is definitely the aim, because I've quite a big lead right now. Here is my lead, there is myself in first position, there is the Mercedes cars, and I think that's Pascal Wehrlein just behind in 4th place right now, which is very well done to him. And then it's his teammate Perez in 5th with Carlos Sainz just behind, but the 2 Force Indians both haven't pitted yet. And here we have Esteban Gutierrez going side by side with Valtteri Bottas, and this is position, but then the Sauber behind is not for position, these being lapped. And Gutierrez actually spins out on Valtteri Bottas, and that means the Sauber of Antonio Giovinazzi is going to get caught on the rear of him and lose his wheel. So Giovinazzi is now out of the race, which is not too much news to shout about really, considering his last anyway, but still disappointing to retire from any race. But now here is the just over 2 laps remaining, and Daniel Ricciardo is going to go for a move up the inside, and this is going to get very tasty with 2 laps to go. He's got the better tyres, but they'll be wearing more, so it's very difficult to see how it's going to go. And Daniel Ricciardo actually takes the first place, but he also has DRS, but I luckily have some rich fuel to fight back with, and I have the power of the dive bomb. As we look up the inside of turn 1, just see how close we get through these first few corners. Myself and Daniel Ricciardo, the 2 Red Bull youth prodigies, and we just go side by side, and I managed to reclaim the lead. And without DRS, I should have the straight line speed advantage and have the inside line, so that means I can retain the lead for now. But the teammate Lewis Hamilton is not too far behind, so it's going to get very spicy with just over a lap to go. Here we go, Daniel Ricciardo coming in the same way towards the final corner. I brake early, try and undercut. He parks on the apex, so it doesn't really allow me to undercut him and do the switchback very well. But this time I think I have DRS, and here we go, 3 wide onto the final lap of the Grand Prix. Lewis Hamilton, myself and Daniel Ricciardo fighting for the win. Who knows what's going to happen, but it's just 3 wide going towards turn 1. And Hamilton's actually locked up on the inside. That forces me out, so unfortunately, and they make wheel-to-wheel contact there, so very controversial. I try and look to the outside line, but then I'm forced onto the curb a bit, even onto the gravel slightly, so that has unfortunately cost me the exit. So the 2 Mercedes cars are going to absolutely run away. But now I'm going to absolutely dive bomb Hamilton into the lock-up corner, as I sometimes call it. And Hamilton has just about held it around the outside, but we both have DRS. He has the better exit though, unfortunately. It looks like Daniel Ricciardo is nailed on to win this race now, as he's got a slight gap with only half a lap to go. So very disappointing, as I was first going into the final lap of the Grand Prix. But yeah, it looks like the win's now out of the question. But can I make Lewis Hamilton come back towards me and I can reclaim second place? It doesn't look likely, because my front left has absolutely given up, and Lewis Hamilton has the straight line speed advantage despite my slipstream and mix. He got just a better exit, and unfortunately Daniel Ricciardo, my tyre is actually punctured, just to put a nail in the coffin, and there you go. Unfortunately, I'm going to come through for 3rd place. Daniel Ricciardo wins from Lewis Hamilton. Can I actually hold 3rd place? I think there's a Sauber behind me, so I should be able to, but the puncture really screwed me there. 3rd place in the Bahrain Grand Prix. So Daniel Ricciardo wins the race from Lewis Hamilton. Mercedes 1-2. Myself in 3rd place, Pierre Gasly, and then Carlos Sainz actually in 4th. Very well done to him. Vettel in 5th. Nico Carey getting his first points in 6th place in Formula 1. Sergio Perez recovering from his lowly grid position, with Kimi Raikkonen, Hulkenberg and Pascal Wehrlein running out the points, with Fernando Alonso just missing out 11th place. Kevin Magnussen in 12th for Renault, with Jenson Button, Valtteri Bottas never really recovering from his lowly grid position, and Romain Grosjean, Max Verstappen on an alternate strategy didn't really pay off. Jolyon Palmer, Esteban Gutierrez, and the two Manners and Charles Leclerc round out the finishers, with Antonio Giovinazzi the only driver not to finish this race. So yeah, very, very disappointing to only finish third there as I looked nailed on for the win, but Hamilton now leads the championship from myself, Pierre Gasly. Verstappen and Ricciardo are both on 25 points as they've both won a race each, but then not finished or not scored points in the other one. And Mercedes and Red Bull look like the main protagonists for the title in the Constructors, as we're at least 20 points ahead of Ferrari already. So yeah, very, very difficult to see where it's going to go. But still 4 teams yet to score, including Renault and Haas, which I'll be looking to make amends for. But yeah, this is the end of this video then. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more. This has been J183, and I will see you next time.